Final Print is a companion application to Final Cut Pro that makes it possible to print bins and markers. So I've got Final Cut Pro running at the moment, and I just want to point out some of the things that we're going to be able to do in Final Print. First of all, we've got a bin called Summer Shots here, which if I switch to that tab, you can see there's a few clips in there. These are all sub clips, and Final Print will be able to print the contents of this bin alongside with the thumbnails of each item in the bin. If I switch back to the main project, there's also a source clip here that has quite a few markers on it, which is showing up in the viewer, and I'll be able to print this out in Final Print as well alongside with the thumbnails. Finally, we've got a sequence over here that has quite a few markers. It has both sequence markers that I'm jumping through now, and also some of the clips have clip markers on them as well, and all these markers can be printed with Final Print. So to get all this information out of Final Cut Pro and into Final Print, we need to export an XML file. So I'm going to select the browser window and make sure that no items are selected, and the reason for that is that if no items are selected, then the entire project will get exported to XML, which is what we want in this case. So I'm going to go to File menu and choose Export XML, and you can see up here on the export dialog we've got 11 bins, 29 clips and 1 sequence. So I'll just say OK and save the XML file, which takes a couple of seconds. Now if I show the desktop, there's the XML file that we just exported, and I'll just drag that onto Final Print. And what Final Print's going to do is going to import that XML file and load up the movies and then create the thumbnails it needs to create. And there we go. We've now got Final Print has opened up that XML project, and there's basically two areas within the Final Print interface. The browser on the left, which is very similar to Final Cut Pro, so I can open different bins, close bins down, look at bins, etc. And on the right hand side we've got a display area, which has an info tab and a markers tab. So if I select the Summer Shots bin on the left hand side in the browser, you can see that all the subclips inside that bin are then displayed. And there is some control here over which columns are displayed, so I can go into the Edit Templates button, and maybe let's say I want to add the real column to the display columns, and let's put it before the good column. You can also change the font size and also which font is used for the printouts. So I'll just save that particular template. So if I do a print and preview, what we end up with is this is what would be printed out, or of course you do an export to PDF. So at the top we have the name of the selected item, which in this case was the Summer Shots bin. We have the date and time it was printed and the page number. And also at the top we have the Final Print icon. So this is the default icon, but if you wanted to, you can change that very easily for your company logo or maybe your production logo. You can change that very easily in Final Print Preferences. So let's close this down and look at the next situation of markers on a source clip. So if you remember, we had the markers on the Sydney GV's clip. If I select that and then go over to display area and select markers, then here's a list of all the markers on that clip, along with the thumbnail and also the timecode of the marker underneath each thumbnail. Finally, let's select the sequence on the left, so this sequence that we looked at before. And for sequences you can choose to view all markers, or maybe you just want to have a look at sequence markers or clip markers. So let's go back to all markers, and I'll do another print preview to see the results. And there we go. So that's Final Print from Digital Heaven.